Did you get the record sign or signal? Oh,
yeah.
right.
Said recording in progress.
We made it. We made it.
Finally.
Technology and all. So welcome to you, Fezi, to the very, very first episode of Philarsande Careers. I was so excited. Like when I thought of this idea, you literally were the first person that I had in mind. And I'm like,
yes.
I'd like her to just, this one, I know she's fire, And when you said yes, I was actually, I thought maybe you wouldn't say yes because, people are busy at work and stuff. I thought you wouldn't say yes to be the first one, but I was just planning on, later on. So when you said yes to the first one, I was like, so we need to do it right. It needs to be great. It needs to flourish.
Set the tone.
So I'm so happy to have you again. Welcome to Philarsande Careers. This is just where we talk everything careers. Anyone who's doing any kind of career, you are here to share your information with us. We're going to ask you questions about your industry, what you like about your career, what you don't like, and just what does the future hold for people in your career, so that if other people are also interested, they could be inspired by what you have to say. So maybe let's start by doing first things first after my little intro, and just allow you to introduce yourself and tell the viewers who you are.
Well, I'm here. Hi, everyone. My name is Sifeziwe Ndlovu, CASA. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. But commonly known as Ufezi, as Ayanda has said. I'm a girl from Durban, born and bred, but, out here living in Joburg, doing my thing.
Hey, babe.
And yeah, I am a CA by profession, but a finance.
All right. Thank you so much. I was giving something about an error there. Thank you so much, Fezi, for that intro. You said you are a CA by profession, and what did you say after that?
I'm a finance personnel by passion.
Oh, finance personnel by passion. No, we had to hear that. No, that's important.
Yeah.
So Fezi and I, everybody, met at one of the financial institutions. We're not mentioning company names and stuff. So we met at this financial institution, and she was doing her CA program. And I can't remember, like, what year were you when we met? Were you second or first?
I think I was in second.
Yeah, it was that long time ago, but you were still serving your
first. It was my first year, actually. It was my first year. Yeah.
All right. And so the great thing about Fezi, I see this young lady, very fired up, excited about life, passionate. And I mean, one of the cool things for me is that everyone that I call babes now, I got that name from her. So she would call me babes. I'm like, yo, I felt so cool for being called that, because I was, I'm older than them, so they calling me this, and I'm like, oh, these girls are so cool. But she also calls her mamu babes sometimes. So I was like, no, this is a common name. But ever since just meeting Ufezi, where she's always just been this person who's very fired up about the stuff that she's doing. She puts everything in what she does. She puts all that she is in making sure that whatever that she wants, she actually gets. And I've seen a continual sort of pattern in that, and so I thought we should have this conversation, because I really think that you're a force to be reckoned with, and I think there's a lot of people that could be inspired by your story. So hey, first of all,
hey girl, hey.
You mentioned that you were a chartered accountant. So being a chartered accountant is affiliated with the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants, and it is said to be one of the most challenging qualification to attain. First of all, it takes 7 years minimum.
Minimum. Not that it takes all of us 7 years. Minimum.
Yeah, 7 is minimum. And it goes from your degree, which is 3 years. After your degree, you go to your CTA, which is the 4th year. Some people get stuck in that year. And then after you pass that, then you have your board exams, your first board. But as you're doing your boards, your first board and your second board, you're also doing your your training. You either do the training inside they call it training inside public practice, or you
We don't
train.
have that anymore.
Okay,
It's just
fantastic.
training.
How does it work now? So is there a split now still?
No, so that's why even the exam has changed.
Okay.
The APC is now changed because the tip and top is no longer there.
Doesn't exist.
So if you're just in a training program at any institution, you all write the same exams now. There's no set exam for people who are in public practice, which is your audit firms, and people who are out of public practice, which is everyone else, whether it's a car dealership, a bank, a small firm, insurance companies. There's so many places where you can actually get your training contract and get exposed and get those competencies that you need.
All right. So maybe let's just talk about that journey and how it started, like back in the days. How back in the days did your aspiration to be a CA begin?
So originally I didn't even know what a CA was. I wanted to be an actuarial scientist, actually.
Okay.
I wanted to go study actuary, and because I was good in math. And I remember in grade 11, PwC Durban, actually, one of the audit firms came and said, you know what, your top accounting students, don't you think, you'd like to do this? Just have a career in this and that. And in my head, I was like, what is this? I don't know it. And like, they selected me from my school. And we're like, let's have a conversation, take this to your parents. We'll fully fund everything from start to finish. Wow. And then like come work for us, like at the end of your honors year, which is your 4th year, as you said. So that's where the seed was planted. I wasn't sure whether I'd go that route. Okay. But when I took the letter home, my mom was just like, sorry, they're paying.
Free money.
That's what you're going to do. If they pay, that's what you're going to do, baby girl. So she was not having it. She didn't even know what it is. I think until today. But she was just like, actually, this is a good opportunity. And I mean, you don't hate accounting. You like it. So
and you did it at school. All right.
I was fortunate enough to have teachers that are very knowledgeable about these things. So I think grade 11 is where the seed actually started in my journey. Yeah.
All right. And then did you have to get more information about it? How did you get more information about it after PwC approached you?
After they came, so then we had a careers day.
Okay.
A few months later in grade 11. And then I was like, okay, let's learn more about this. What do I do? I mean, they didn't mention the board exams. They just mentioned, you'll study for 4 years, then you'll train for 3 years, and then boom, you have those 4 magic letters behind your name, and you're just going to be making a lot of money, and you won't know what to do with it.
Yeah, we go where the money is. Yeah.
And you can work overseas. You can work anywhere in South Africa. Like you're going to be one of the sought out people, like recruiters are going to want you. And I was like, well, that's nice. It's nice to be wanted. That seems like a secure job for me. Yeah. And I'm making money. Yes, sign me up.
Bring it. Yeah. Sure. All right. So if you didn't have the career guidance or the career training or sessions that you guys had at school, how else would you have maybe found the knowledge? Do you think your teachers would have known?
Luckily in my school we had a careers day, right?
Yeah.
And we also had job shadowing.
Okay.
So you could choose wherever you wanted. I mean, my dad is a telephone technician. He worked at Telkom all his life. Okay. And my mom is a nurse. So those are 2 jobs that I did not want. Okay. One, at the sight of blood, I cringe, I faint, I can't.
It's a no.
So I knew that I had to go out and find something that works with what I enjoy doing and doesn't freak me out. Okay. And I think the career guidance at school, firstly. Secondly, having a vast variety of friends. Like a lot of my friends have parents who are in corporate and who have different types of jobs to what I knew. So when it came to job shadowing, I actually job shadowed my friend's dad, who
Okay.
works for one of the banks in KZN, one of the small banks in KZN, and
Okay.
he's a CA. So for
Oh.
that week, I shadowed him, and he's a manager there, and he's done quite well for himself. And I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, when this man talks, people listen.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think being open-minded to other careers and not just what I was exposed to as a child,
Okay.
that really, and me being inquisitive, it really does help in getting knowledge about things you actually don't even know exist or are out there.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you so much for that. Please can you then just enlighten us on your upbringing and your background? Which environment are you from? You mentioned Durban, but there's different parts to Durban.
There's really different
You
parts.
know, there's the Max.
That's true. No, I'm born and bred in Umlazi, Gazette.
Okay.
My mom, my dad, siblings. I'm the youngest one.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I'm growing up. I mean, my mom is a hard worker. She's always been.
Okay.
I think that's where I get my work ethic. Like, my mom is that type of person where when she's busy, everybody must be busy. Like,
Okay.
how can you be sleeping when I'm doing 1, 2, 3? So that's where sometimes I get half of it, because the other half is the lazy side. But half of it is her. But we grew up in a Lokshini,
Okay.
this is what you see, this is what there's nothing hidden, but also when you look outside, like, you're not sure what to aspire to, because there's not that, oh, I want to be like so-and-so, because everybody's the same.
Okay, I see.
We don't have, I didn't grow up in a place where we had like stars where you'd say, oh, when I grow up, I want to be like this. I mean, I only realize the stars now when I'm a bit older, when I see them in corporate making big moves. I'm like, hey, I grew up like down the road from your gran, and you used to come visit, but it was never
something
the
that
gran is the one that is, yeah. So it was that, but I was fortunate enough that my parents took me to good schools.
Okay.
And that's honestly where I got exposed to a lot of things.
Okay.
A lot of things. So yeah, I mean, growing up, it was fun. Being a last born is great. Don't let them tell you otherwise. It was a constant pressure, because growing up, I knew that I did not want to stay in KZN.
Okay.
I knew that from the bat. Like, I didn't want to stay where I'm from. I didn't want to stay in that environment. I wanted more. I wanted to be challenged. I wanted my mind to be blown. I knew from a very young age that that's what I wanted for myself, and I worked for it. And sometimes my brother would say, you think you're better because you're smart, or like, why do you want to do this? Nobody has ever studied outside of KZN. And just because nobody's ever done it at home doesn't mean it's impossible.
Hey, push those boundaries.
So it was stuff like that. Yeah, it was stuff like that till today I look back, I'm like, oh, that was to serve this purpose in my life, and this is to serve that. Yeah. So it's, my upbringing, my parents did the best that they could, which was great, because they put me in line for what I could then achieve on my own.
Sure, I know, and we thank God for that, because wow, some children don't have parents who are supportive, and I'm not even talking like, in terms of school and finances and stuff, but just in general, like supporting my aspirations and the things that I want to do, So it's quite fascinating to hear that your parents actually allowed you to pursue what you wanted to pursue, And I like the zeal also that you talk about, and that heart and that passion, or the determination that you had when your brother, for example, had that conversation with you. Would he, like, you think you better, who has ever studied outside of KZN, what besides your desire to want to work outside and to live outside of KZN, how did you keep yourself motivated with that? And I'm asking this because there could be someone who is sitting in a very hectic situation at home. Maybe situation is like really, really bad. There's not a lot of opportunities that are available for them. How can we encourage somebody like that to see beyond where they are the way you have?
Yeah. You know, it's for me, it's the thing of you trust yourself, like trust the journey that you're on. You wouldn't be dreaming big if you weren't meant to be there. You wouldn't be dreaming
Mm.
of something if you're not meant to have it. You
Ah,
know, there's that as well. And if you know, if you trust yourself, because all I had was self-confidence. And yes, my marks were great at school. Yes, I didn't have to try hard, but I constantly had to do what I had to do to get where I want to go to.
okay. Okay.
So it's that thing of, you know, I
Trust
I
yourself.
I knew what I wanted, and I knew I never let my dream get out of sight. I think that's the other thing. We
Okay.
need to always have your dream in your sight, because
Okay.
then it's nothing can waver you, nothing can deter you if you know what you know. The why is very important as
The
well.
why is
You
important.
dream something, but why?
Yeah. Yeah.
The why is very important, because
Yeah.
that's whenever you fall or you stumble, you always revert back to the why.
Wait.
And that's when you get up and you do it again.
Yeah.
Like it's, yeah.
Sure. No, I like that. I like that because really you end up being a jack of all trades if you don't have a clear picture of where exactly are you going. So if we can also just maybe spend a bit of time on how important is, okay, yes, dreaming, but what do we do? Like, yeah, I have a dream. I want to be, like, for example,
Yeah.
initially wanted to be an actual scientist, but how
But
do you,
what's the plan?
what do you do? Yes, yes, I think that's my question. Yeah.
So you know, dreaming is great. Honestly, we all dream, it's great. But one, we have to be very realistic
Yeah.
and set time frames that align with where we are and where we want to go to. You can't say you want to be a CA and you're giving yourself 30 years to do that, because it takes 7 years minimum.
Firstly,
You
okay.
can't,
Yeah.
firstly, so you have to have realistic
Okay.
goals
That are
and
measurable.
realistic time frames,
Okay.
because once you have those things, it's easy to put a plan of action,
Okay.
because then you know, this is what I want to do, this is what I have to do in order to get to step B, and break it up. My first goal was get great grade 11 results.
Okay.
That's just the first goal I had.
Yeah.
Get great grade 11 results, and then position yourself in a way that if you were to apply for stuff, it's easy to get it
Yeah.
because you did so well back then. Because if the foundation is poor, the minute you get to matric and you try to turn your situation around, it's very hard.
Could be late.
So I already took that step. Okay, let my grade 11 results be great, so that come matric, I have something that I can, the minute applications open, I can apply.
Okay.
Two, have options. Even though I knew I didn't want to study in KZN. Yes, I never applied for any university in KZN, any college, any school. I didn't.
Yeah.
But I knew that I needed options where I wanted to go.
Okay.
So I applied in Cape Town, I applied in Pretoria, and applied in Joburg, because those were the three areas I thought, you know what, this is where I want to be. I don't have family in Cape Town. I don't have family in Pretoria. I only have family in Joburg. So that's the other thing I had to consider. Am I willing to be as far away from my parents, where I can only see them once every 6 months?
For your dream.
Or do I want to be to a 2-hour flight, or that doesn't cost them that much, because one, I'm moving away, so they need to factor in my moving costs and bring me to that university that I want to go to.
Yeah.
You know, being realistic and considerate like that to other people that your dreams affect.
Absolutely.
So that they can also aid you in achieving what you want to achieve.
Okay. Okay.
So after that, after I applied, after I knew that this is what I want, then I was like, residence, you have to continuously learn as you're growing and as you're achieving your dreams, because how it was 6 years ago, and by the time you reach it, it's not going to be the same.
True.
So you constantly have to evolve and change and adapt.
And adapt.
We're not saying change your goals, adapt to the new situation, because then it's the agility of it that will make you achieve whatever you want. Because if you didn't do well in grade 11, or you got like 4 B's and 1 A, and you're like, oh, I wanted 5 A's, and adapt to that new situation and do something different
Yeah.
in order to
Okay.
get to where you want to go. So you have to be agile, and you have to be able to realize that your dreams are valid, even if the path is different to where
Sure.
you wanted it to be.
Okay. Yo, no, I love that. I love that so much because I mean, you're touching on a very important element. You're touching on agility and, having the ability to adapt because COVID has really messed up a lot,
Yeah.
like things that we thought we knew, and if you
We
are,
knew nothing. God came and said, you thought.
we are zero, and if you are going to be stuck on where the accident or the incident happened, then you're not going to continue, so I like that resilient spirit as well, that one needs to be properly, like fight to be resilient, fight to get up and try again.
You have to.
Goal is not changing, but your path might be changing. That example you made about the getting B's and you wanted A's doesn't mean that you must repeat grade 11. Like that's not the only option that's there, but the other option could be, hey, what if you do well in grade 12? What if you know what I mean, you pursue further and stuff. So I really, really like that. I'm hoping it's going to encourage someone, especially like somebody who's still at school, who was discouraged based on the pandemic and all its inconsistencies, because now I can imagine how challenging it must be to be a student these days. Going to school,
you don't even know when you'll see your lecturer again. You don't even know when you'll see your TA again. You don't even know when you're writing again. And now
it's a lot.
You go through all of that only for you to be told, okay, come back now, you're going to write physically at school. You're like, but I just got used to writing remotely and writing on my computer. Now I have to go back and write by hand.
So agility is important. And I mean, how much thought goes or psychology comes in with adapting to this new change that you didn't even see coming. It's good if you knew and you saw it coming, because mentally you get prepared, and the only difference
get prepared, even though subconsciously you know that you have to prepare.
But if you didn't, then it takes a while to adjust, to get back into momentum, and then only to change again. So I really, I'm always just concerned about students that are currently studying, but at the end of the day, even with the changes in the way the education system is currently, it does not change your goals. Your goals are still valid. Some people may feel that maybe they need to repeat their grade 11 because they don't feel confident enough. There's also a choice that you make. And if you think it's going to help you to get to the goals that you have or the vision that you have, then hey, why not? So thank you for that insight. I think now let's just talk about your profession and with regards to your qualification. What are the great things okay, let's start with the bad things first, so we just get it out of the way, and then we're going to talk about the great things, because we want to see, is this a profession worth, or is this a qualification worth pursuing, right? So what is it that you don't like about your qualification and in the industry that you're working in?
I don't like the 7 years.
Okay.
I think we can do better. I think, especially because now, where I did my articles, the people that I started off with had a 3-year advantage over me, because I was doing, you were still a grad then, or you were still a trainee then, whilst they were actually physically getting deep into the work and learning and getting experience. The 7 year, I know, I don't know how it could change, but I mean, monetarily, yes, by the time you qualify, it all comes. They have a 3-year lead on experience.
Yeah.
And when you put it on a CV that, I'm a finance professional with over 5 years experience, that weighs more than somebody saying, I'm a CA with 2 years post-qualification, because then the person with the 5 years already has 3-year advantage over you, even though you were doing articles at that time, which means you were working.
Yeah. It's still not considered work.
It's not considered work. I think that's, maybe it could be a mental shift in employers.
Yeah.
That would be great. I don't like that part about it. Okay. I don't like that. I also did my profession. I love it, right? I love the community we're building, but I still think there's more we could do as a community for young, disadvantaged Black kids. I think there's more, especially with the pass rates that we've been seeing for the past couple of years. I really think as an institution and as a profession, we can do more. I don't like that. Work-wise, each to their own. You decide what type of CA you want to be. So I can't bash my profession for other people's decisions.
It's true.
You decide what type of CA you want to be. So I can't do that. But I think there's more as a collective and as like the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants and all its members. There's really more that we could do. I'm just not sure what at this point.
Yeah, I know. But I hear you. I think like the other element that I'm seeing or that I'm picking up from just what you're saying, it's like once you're there, that's it. You don't then go back and fetch or filter your information to the ones that are still pursuing and stuff. So much so that some people end up not wanting to pursue the role at all because it seems unreachable, So yeah, I think hopefully with such setups, with such content, hopefully more people will be encouraged to at least start where you are. You don't have to do something like have like a thing, a forum or whatever, but just where you are, like what are you doing to bring in change in
other people as well.
Exactly. Because I remember when I was doing my articles, like there was a thing about there's currently in the entire country, I think at that time there was only 20,000 Black chartered accountants, and that's like males and females. And
but that doesn't even depict the South Africa we live in.
No, it doesn't. I'm sure the number has grown, but I don't think that it has grown so drastically, because also that's the information we hear when we are pursuing the profession. It's not something you will hear at school. It's not something that somebody who does the profession, for example, yourself, will come to a high school and say, hey, we need more chartered accountants, guys, please come through. You know what I mean? Whereas I feel in other professions, like you can hear, like when, for example, the South African Police Service, when they're looking for more people, you hear about it. In retail, when they're looking for more people, but I think that's a very valid point. We'll definitely
we could do more. We really could do more, especially in that sense of have someone that you tell, and let's do, what is it, the telemarketing or level marketing, like a pyramid scheme. I tell one person, that person tells two people, and those two people, just to make sure that we all have each other's backs.
Absolutely.
And we're doing more for more new entrants and fresh blood. And these are the people that are going to take the profession forward. You know what I mean?
Certainly. I remember we used to have these programs, but it was also not the institution. It was a portion of it. And there would be like a committee for school events there, and then there's another committee for so at least we did try. So I could say in my times when I was still on the journey, we did try to reach out, because I remember I would have sessions where I needed to go back to my high school and I would do like career guidance and information sharing. But even with the committee itself, like you could see that sometimes because of the pressures that came with the workload, or because we got busy, it wasn't something that we were intentional about. So I think definitely we need to be intentional about it. It will make a huge difference, because I know of people that pursued the career because of what I say to them, so it's I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
So okay, let's just move to the what makes you stay in the profession you're in. What do you love about it? I mean, yes, you're already a qualified chartered accountant. You can't change that, but except if you become
I can't drop the 4 letters. I work too hard for those.
If you become an ethical or what we do shady stuff, then they could just spar you. But what is it that you
They are dropping me. I'm not dropping it.
Know yourself, babes.
They have to drop me.
But what is making you stay here, and also just to encourage someone else to bring, I think from what we spoke about earlier, just now, let us use this opportunity to bring in more people into the profession. What do you love about the profession? Is this your best profession?
This is probably the best profession for me personally, because I can work anywhere. I can work anywhere in the world. And I think that's the one thing that really, really is, it's a game changer.
Okay.
Like in this profit, like as a CA or in the industry, in financial services, insurance, you can go anywhere and learn anything, and you already have a foot in the door.
Yeah.
Which the 4 letters provide for you. Because of all the intense training that you did, the 3 years, even though I was complaining about them initially, they do work in your favor if it counts, because they're like, you've been trained, you know how to navigate corporate, you know how to be a professional, because that's a skill. Yeah. That's the other thing people forget. The skills and competencies you get in training, you take them and you run with them. Like it's easy for people to trust you.
Yes.
Because you're a CA, and whatever you say will have weight.
Yes.
And I think that's the best thing about this profession for me personally. You can be whoever you want to be, wherever you want to be that person.
Yeah. And what I like about it is the credibility, because it's not just anything that you got backdoors, it's a credible institution like the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants. It's filled with a lot of people that are quite learned, and they are for the interest of, being game changers. So I like what you said. Because also I can imagine that some people will also be on some, I'm already a CA, so I don't really need to work that hard, things like that. Like, I'm not saying do that, but I'm saying you can also find people who do that because there's already the 4 letters, and the 4 letters are associated with a credible institution. Yes. So, so it's up to you at the end of the day, as a person, like you said, each to their own.
What type of CA do you want to be? Which is what I ask everyone that asks me about this journey. You decide what type of CA you want to be. If you want to be the learned CA, the academic CA, you're continuously learning, good for you. Yeah. If you want to be somebody that learns in the job, gets vast experience, and grows like that in the corporate ladder, great. If you want to be a CA that's an entrepreneur, fantastic. But you decide what type of CA you want to be. Yeah. And this profession allows you to. Yeah. You're not restricted. Yeah. You're not restricted that, you can only do this, or no, you can be that. You can be whoever you want to be.
Anyway, absolutely. No, I like that. And the money, people want to know about the money.
What have you got? One thing about the money.
You have to calculate the cents in your profit. Do you have to stress? Can I plan that I want to go to Zanzibar this year, out of nowhere?
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, okay? If you want to make coins from the beginning, don't go to audit firms. Full stop. If you want to make money from the beginning, like first year trainee, you don't want to live on overdraft. Yeah. Don't go to an audit firm. However, money is relative to your spending as well. If your lifestyle makes you spend and you don't save and you live way above your means, it doesn't matter how much you get paid.
Absolutely.
It will never be enough for you. Yeah. But no, you can buy a car and rent an apartment.
A good car. Yeah, a good car even.
Buy a nice starter car, and that's right. Full stop there. Yeah, in your articles, that's all you can afford. Yeah. High post qualification on the other hand.
Hey.
Which trading what type of CA you want to be?
Which trading in the old cars for new cars?
You can trade that car in, but because you'll be an accountant that knows you won't do that, you'll keep this car because you don't want to change your bottom line. It's just, for Post-qualification, honestly, it just depends on the industry you go to.
Okay.
If you're going to be an investment banker, you'll never earn as much as an accountant or a finance manager. Investment bankers, guys, they are the ones that bring the money into the institution. So they need to get compensated for that.
True.
But it just depends on how you live. I mean, some investment bankers, the bottom line, some people still have more than them because of the lifestyle.
Okay.
The assets they decided to buy, because some are investors. So it honestly depends on the type of CA you want to be post-qualifying and the industry you're in.
Okay.
But the money is there.
Yeah.
Don't let them lie to you.
It's
the money is there.
The 7 years
it's just
worth
how I'd say worth it. I'd say worth it. Some people might say, and they might disagree with me. No, it's worth it. The 4 letters are worth it.
It's a game changer. No, man. Thank you so much. I think we've come to the end. I was trying to look at some of the questions that I think we didn't cover, but we did cover.
We did. Whoever needs to hear this will hear it. Oh, get yourself a mentor at a very early stage.
Okay.
If you could get someone that's a CA as well, when you start working, don't. You can get a tutor or somebody that's been in the journey, like who's still doing the articles as you're in your honors. So you know what to expect for board. You know, people that have just written what you've written. Okay. That's perfect. That's what I did. I got my mentor in my CTA year, which was probably the best decision, because CTA is a beast. That year requires mental strength of another level. You will be getting 20% and you should not even flinch. You shouldn't let it get you down, because you're all on the same boat. CTA is here, you are here. This is what my lecturer told me. You got to rise to the occasion, because CTA is not going to drop its level for you. Rise up to the occasion, because third year you are here.
Yeah.
So get yourself somebody that's been through that journey, and they'll help you and understand. Okay. But once you start working, yes, if you guys are both in the same industry, that would be great. But if you're not, you can get another mentor that's within the company or within the field that you're in, just so it's easy to navigate corporate. If you're going to be corporate, it depends on where you're going to be, but it's easier to have somebody who's there that can guide you, saying, "Oh, don't word it like that, word it like this," because sometimes, you know, and even in your honors year, seek feedback, but like seek it. Hey, like it's easy to ask for feedback, but are you actually willing to receive it?
Yeah, like, true.
Seek it, but with like receive it. Yeah. Because when somebody tells you that's not how you write a paper, don't get defensive. Listen to why he's saying that's not how you write, because that small conversation is going to take you from getting 20% to actually passing the year, which is the same thing as corporate. It's going to take you from, you did not meet my expectations in this task, to you actually exceeded my expectations because you did what I asked. Yeah. So feedback is very important in that way. But get yourself a mentor, seek feedback with actually listening and accepting it. You're well on your journey.
Okay, and you're eating the Marnie. No, thank you. I was going to ask you to please just tell us like one final thought, but I think that one summed it up quite nicely.
That was.
Yep, you closed it. You took us to the bank. Thank you. I think now the very last thing, what do you do for fun? In closing, what do you do for fun?
Oh, I'm a fitness bunny now. So I gym for fun. Before I used to party. but now COVID said no. So now I actually really enjoy fitness. I really enjoy learning about fitness. I really enjoy plant-based fitness, because I'm a new vegan now. So, you know, new exciting things like that. Like I'm a finance fanatic now. So that's what I do for fun.
Okay. And then any handles? Do you mind people Do you mind if people followed you
Oh,
on?
no, please DM me. I like answering DMs.
Okay.
I'm on LinkedIn, Sifeziwe Ndlovu,
Okay.
as you can see here. No worries, that's me. Connect. I'm happy to answer questions or anything you might have. On Instagram, it's at Fezi Ndlovu, FEZZYNDLOVU. And same as Twitter. That's all I have. I don't have Facebook, so I can't.
So I can't.
But Twitter and Instagram, same, FEZZYNDLOVU.
Okay.
On LinkedIn, which is where I usually take DMs about work. Sifeziwe Ndlovu.
Oh, there's a difference there.
Let's, you know, on Instagram, I talk about fitness. On LinkedIn, I talk about
career.
work. So,
Focusing on your goals. No,
so yeah, happy to answer any questions you guys may have about the career. If you're thinking of changing, if you're in audit and want to change somewhere, yeah, just pop me a DM and let's chat.
You're gonna plug you. And do you still do hair?
No, unfortunately, I don't. One, I don't have the time anymore because Jim came and took. But yeah, I mean, I can wash your wigs for you. I don't make hair, but I can treat your hair for you. Yes.
Okay.
I don't do the selling and the making of wigs and stuff like that, but I do the washing, treating. If you want to cut, styling, yes,
Okay.
that I can do. Yeah.
No, thank you. I don't know what to say. I just want to thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was like so great to see your face and not talk to you via text. So, but yeah, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed our time together.
You're welcome.
I hope this message inspires somebody who's thinking about changing or doing something. Just do it.
I hope it does. I really hope it does. And I'm grateful that you're going to be spearheading that army that's going to be helping in pulling the other people that want to join as well. So yeah, thank you, Fezi. I love you so much. I wish you well in all your endeavors. Even if you plan on going back to KZN, I'm still going to support you. But
yeah, KZN might find me. Hey, KZN might find me.
You are here in KZN.
Right. That's right.
No, but thank you. Do keep well and
be a pleasure.
Stay in touch.
Yes.
All righty.
Bye.